Welcome back to another episode of Empower Connect Conversation Podcast. I'm your host, Carolyn McLean. In this episode, I would like to talk about the complex and often challenging emotion anger. Anger is a powerful emotion that we all have felt, often regretting how we even responded. So let's go over a few examples of the different types of anger. A husband and a wife is always arguing. One day, the husband gets so angry he smashes a glass face against the wall. A 16-year-old girl feels like a burden on her busy parents and locks herself in her room with the stereo turned up to the maximum volume. An employee pushes by a reluctant supervisor goes home and drinks themselves in a daze. A 5-year-old child, unable to process the bruises on his back, becomes frustrated at school and tears a hole in his drawing paper. These are just a few examples of anger. There are so many more, but anger does not have to run or ruin your life. If you manage anger correctly, anger can provide insight to an area of your life where you are living short of all that God intends for you. Have you ever asked yourself, why do I get so angry? This is a question many of us have asked ourselves. I know I have. Anger, like all emotions, is a natural part of being human. But when it becomes overwhelming or persistent, it can disrupt our lives and relationships. Why do we experience anger? There is no one size fit all answer, but the common triggers include feeling misunderstood or underheard, unresolved conflict, and unmet needs. Our past experience, upbringing, and even biological can play a significant role in how we express and manage anger. For some, it may be a learned behavior from family members or caregiver. For others, it could be a response to stress or trauma. But here's the thing about anger, it is not inherently bad. It is a signal that something in our lives needs attention or change. It's how we choose to express and channel that anger that makes all the difference. We can manage our anger through anger management. Anger management is about recognizing and handling our emotion constructively. It's not about suppressing anger, but finding healthy ways to express and channel it. One effective strategy is taking a step back and practice deep breathing exercises to to regain composure. Communication is the key too. Expressing your feelings calmly can lead to a resolution rather than escalation. Overcoming anger involves acknowledging it and understanding the emotion. Practicing self awareness and development effects coping strategy. Some of the techniques, such as deep breathing, mindfulness, and communication skill, can help diffuse anger. We can even seek help and support from friends, family, and yes, even professional. These are valuable and exploring the root cause can provide long-term solutions. Embracing forgiveness and cultivating a positive mindset are also key components of overcoming anger and promoting emotional well-being. The Bible provides valuable guidance on anger management. In Ephesians 4, verses 26 and 27, it says, in your anger, do not sin. Do not let the sun go down while you are still angry, and do not give the devil a foothold. Now, this verse emphasizes the importance of not letting anger faster and giving room for negative to take hold. Now, Proverbs 29:11 often offers another perspective. Fools give full vents to their rage, but the wise bring calm in the end. Now, this suggests that expressing anger reluctantly or recklessly is unwise, and seeking calm resolution is a path of wisdom. The Bible encourages us to address the inner turmoil that gives a raise to anger. By understanding the root cause and seeking resolutions, we can the more cultivate a more powerful and peaceful and harmony life. Ultimate, the Bible encourages us to seek understanding, forgiveness, and to mimic the patience and love shown by God. It reminds us that anger can be destructive. It can be a destructive force, but with the right mindset and approach, we can navigate it in a way that fosters growth and healing. I want to tell you a story about the tale of the fairy woman and the smoothing waters. In a lush village nested between towering mountains, there lived a woman named Fury. Her anger was legendary and it spreaded fear and destruction wherever she went. Fury's rage was not born from malice, but from a deep unhealed wound. Long ago, she had lost her family in a terrible storm, and ever since her heart burned with anger. She lashed out at everyone who came near her, driving away friends and foes alike. The villagers in the valley lived in constant fear of Fury's wrath, their lives disrupted by her fiery outbursts. One day, a wise woman named Sage came to the valley. Sage had heard tales of Fury's anger and the suffering it caused. With a heartfelt compassion, Sage decided to seek out the woman and help her find peace. The journey to Fury's lairs was long and adventurous, but Sage was determined. When Sage finally stood before Fury, the woman roared in fury, her anger flames lighting up the dark cave. But Sage remained calm, her eyes full of understanding. Why did you come here, old woman? Fury demanded. Do you not fear my flames? Sage shook her head slowly. No, I don't fear you, Fury. I see your pain and I wish to help you heal. Fury's anger wavered, if only for a moment. No one has ever spoken to her with such kindness. She scuffled through less fierceness. And how do you propose to do that? She said. Say sat down, her movement slowly and delicate. By sharing a story with you, a story about the power of anger and the path to healing, Sage said. Curious despite herself, Furious listened to Sage as she began to tell her tale. Once there was a fairy river that flowed through a peaceful valley. The river provided the villagers with water, food, and a place to gather and share their lives. One year, a terrible drought struck, and the river's water began to dry up. The villagers grew desperate and angry, blaming each other for their misfortunes. The river, sensing the villagers' anger, began to churn and boil. Its once clear water turned muggy and dark, reflecting the turmoil within the hearts of the people. The angrier the villagers became, the more turbulence the river grew, until it overflowed its banks and flooded through the valleys, causing even more destruction. In the midst of chaos, a wise woman stepped forward. She gathered the villagers and spoke to them about the power of their anger and how it was affecting the river. She urged them to find so forgiveness in their heart, to let go of their anger and to come together to heal their community. The villagers, moved by her words, began to share their grievance and listen to each other's pain. Slowly but surely, they forgave one another and worked together to rebuild their village. As their hearts softened, the river's water began to clear, and it returned to the gentle, life giving flow. The villagers learned that just as their anger had the power to destroy, their forgiveness and unity had the power to heal and restore. As Sage finished her story, Fury's fierce eyes softened. She saw the reflection of her own life in the tale of the villagers and the river. Her anger had brought pain and destruction, not just to others, but to herself as well. Sage asked, Fury asked Sage, "Can I ever find peace?" as her voice was trembling. Sage replied gently, "Yes, Fury, you can. Healing begins with forgiveness, first of yourself and then of others. It is a journey, but one worth taking." With Sage guidance, Fury began her path to healing. It was not an easy one, and there was moments, many moments, when her old anger threatened to consume her. But with each step, she learned to understand her pain and forgive herself for the past. Slowly, her fury breath cooled, and her heart, once a blazing inferno, began to heal. The villagers even saw the change in Fury. They no longer feared her. They welcomed her into their community, and together they worked to rebuild what had been lost. In time, Fury became known not as a woman of anger, but as a guardian of peace. And the village, once shadowed by fear, flourished in the light of forgiveness and unity. And so, the tale of fury and the smoothing water of forgiveness reminds us that anger, while powerful, can be healed. Through understanding, compassion, and forgiveness, we can transform our pain and build a brighter, more peaceful future for ourselves and those around us. Well, this brings us to the end of another episode of Empower Connect Conversations. Remember, anger is a natural emotion, a signal that something is amiss, but it does not have to control us. Just like fury in our story, we can learn to understand and manage our anger through patience, mindful practices, and compassion for ourselves and others. We can transfer our fiery tempers into gentle breeze of calm and clarity. So if you find this episode helpful, please don't forget to subscribe and also leave us a review. Share this with someone that you think would benefit from this discussion. Remember, in Isaiah 40:31, it says, "But those who trust in the Lord will find new strength. They will soar high on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint." Trusting in God connects us to His infinite power, enabling us to grow, forgive, and rise above our challenges. This is Carolyn McLean. Until next time, keep soaring, keep growing, stay empowered through His grace. God bless. Thank you.